without looking like your kitchen's bomb. Can you say bomb? Your kitchen, a bomb went off on it. No, no. This is ridiculous. My 5 tips on how, blah! Hey guys, Charlani here. So I'm gonna give you my 5 tips on how to survive making Thanksgiving dinner without being super stressed and having your kitchen look like a bomb went off in it. So these are tried and true things that I have done over the last several years, and I'll have to say I've gotten dinner on the table at the time that I said I would have it on the table, and everything was hot. So win-win, right? So here we go. I'm gonna give you my number 1 tip, and that is to clean your kitchen. I know, it's super unglamorous, but when you have a clean working space to start with, it makes everything so much easier. When you've got your dishes where they're supposed to be, when you've got your pantry items in one space where you know where everything is, you're not frantically at the last minute looking for your baster or looking for a certain spatula that you need, things like that. Like, you want to know where all your bowls are, where all your pans are. It just helps make everything a little bit more streamlined when you're not last minute looking for things that you're going to need to cook certain recipes. The next thing, tip number 2, is you want to write out your menu. Figure out exactly what it is that you are going to make. I have a menu, which is on this part right here, that I've written down. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'll get this screenshotted too for you. But it's gonna tell me exactly what it is that I'm making so that I know what I have to get prepared. So my number 3 tip is that you're gonna make a grocery list. So everything that is on your meal or your menu, you're gonna wanna make sure that you have everything for that. So for me, Thanksgiving dinner is one of the most intense grocery lists that I have. So you're gonna wanna make sure that you've got everything that you need. You don't wanna have to be a last minute person at that grocery store because you forgot butter or you forgot lemons or something like that. Something that you need, some things that are necessities like butter on Thanksgiving. You don't wanna run out of that. So you're gonna wanna make a grocery list and know exactly what it is that you're making so that you can get every single thing that you need. I look at all of the different recipes that I'm going to make. I actually lay them all out. I'm looking to see where I have them. What did I do with them? Hold on. Hold on. Okay, so I did this morning because I pulled out the different things that I'm going to make. I've got them all written here on different pieces of paper. This is basically the cookbook that I use that actually my mom made me when I had moved out many moons ago. And so a couple of the recipes I'm gonna use from this, I've got these here. So what I did was I just went through all the recipes, double checked what I had in my pantry and in my refrigerator. If I didn't have it, obviously it goes on the grocery list. So tip number 1, clean your kitchen. Tip number 2, write out a menu. Tip number 3 is make your grocery list. Tip number 4 is probably the most important tip that I'm going to give you. And I feel that it is the one thing that most people do not do. Or if they do it, it's too vague. It's not as specific as I think that it should be. And that is to write out a timeline. A time where you know exactly what time you're going to put your turkey in, What time are you going to put your ham in? What time are you going to make your rolls? What time are you going to peel your potatoes? And this is something that I've actually had people make fun of me for doing this, but I'm telling you, it is the absolute key and a necessity, at least in my opinion, to have a successful Thanksgiving dinner without being frazzled the entire time, because you know what's coming up and you know that you've allowed time for everything that you have. So here I have, and I'm just gonna do this because you can kind of see, I use scratch paper like that. It's just scratch paper, so I don't want you to see that on the other side. So here is my time frame. And I'm gonna go ahead and in this next picture, I'll show you and I'll kind of go through exactly how I have things written out here. But what happens is I actually take this and I'm gonna stick it. It tapes right here. And this is how I'll refer back to it all morning, all day on Thanksgiving. So I make sure that I am on track, I am on task, and everything is getting done. And when somebody comes into the kitchen and they're like, oh, what do you need help with? And if you don't have something written down or something for somebody else to do, that can actually throw you and derail you because you've got everything in your mind. If you have it written down, it allows other people to help you too. Okay, so tip number 5 is, what can you prep beforehand? So for example, I'm going to do all of my chopping, the onions, carrots, celery, things like that, things that you can prep the day before. Do that. Wash your vegetables, cut your green beans. I don't suggest peeling potatoes, although I wish that we could do that the day before, but I find that they get a little brown that way. If somebody has a tip on how to keep them from being brown and being able to actually peel them the night before, that would be awesome. But also that's something that somebody else can do if they come into the kitchen and say, what do you need help with? Here you go, peel the potatoes, that'd be awesome. So those are my tips of what it is that I do every single year to prepare myself for what is kind of like the Super Bowl of meal prep, right? And I'll just recap real quick. Number 1, clean your kitchen. Put everything where it's supposed to be so everything is easier for you to find. Number 2 is figure out what it is that you're going to make and write out a menu. Number 3 is go through that menu, look in your pantry, in your refrigerator, find out what it is that you still need to get, and make that grocery list. Number 4 is write out an actual timeline for how things are going to go tomorrow. When are you going to make your turkey? When are you going to put your ham in? You know, there's so many different moving parts when you're trying to make so many different dishes and have it all come together and be ready so that when you put it on the table, it's all hot. That takes planning and organization. And then number 5 is, what can you do beforehand? Can you make your ranch dressing? Can you make your balsamic vinaigrette? Can you cut your lettuce? Can you wash your vegetables and get them prepped? Can you cut the carrots, tomatoes, onions, things like that? Those are all things that you can do beforehand, which will just make your next day that much easier. So I hope that this has helped you. I would love to hear if you've gotten any tips from this, if you use them, how it worked for you. So I am hoping that you have a happy, happy Thanksgiving from our family to yours, and I'll see you soon. All right, bye.